You've taken your masterpiece about as far as you're going to get it in Camera Raw. Done some pretty good work to it, but it's time to open it in another program. Photoshop would be my example, obviously. To get it there, it's very easy. All you got to do is click Open Image down here. However, before we do that, remember, this is a negative. No matter what you do in Photoshop, this negative is going to be intact. It's called non-destructive editing. I can come back a year from today and take off everything that I've done to this image. I grew up in a darkroom, a traditional darkroom. We never damaged our negatives. We made prints. When you go to Photoshop, it's almost like making a print. You always have this negative. No matter what you've done to it, remember that, but it's time to play. Open image. It will open it, obviously, in Photoshop. We are now in Photoshop. If we try to save this image, it will require us to give it a new name. You will not be able to save over the negative. This is our print in a sense. What we do here is permanent, assuming we save it and reopen it again. However, you might notice when you go up to something like your filters, you go, well, wait a minute, no. Artistic. Oh man, I need my brush strokes and distort and pixelate and sketch and texture and Digimark watermarks and all these things are grayed out. Well, there's a reason. Typically, when you're working on images in Camera Raw, you're working them as 16-bit images. Although years ago, you could hardly do anything to an image if it was 16-bit, you can do a whole lot more. But if we want to get to this kind of stuff, if we need these options to make this image even that much better, we have to do one more conversion. We have to go to the word image and go down to mode and change it to 8-bit. What are you losing when you do that? Trillions of colors. But don't be too sad about that. The human eye can only perceive 5 to 7 million colors, all right? 8-bit images have 16.7 million colors, so you're really not going to be in that much of a stick. If you need the options that are grayed out, this is what you do. So if we go to 8-bit, now the image is reduced in size by about half, but you now have, if you need them, you have everything you need. Everything is now there for you. I will admit years ago, if you did 16-bit on an image, you couldn't do anything to that image until you converted it. There's still a lot we can do. But if you need to get into some of those other filters, remember, it's a raw image. It started out probably at 16. Take it down to 8. You won't have a problem.